Good afternoon and welcome to the Ultimate Racing League GrTwodays Championship. We're here live from the Suzuka circuit in Japan, home of Honda, and of course the Honda NSX Concept 16 that we are using in this season's championship. The track itself, Suzuka, one of the most iconic tracks on the game, and indeed in real life. Currently the Formula One circuit for the Japanese Grand Prix and has been around since it was first laid down in 1960 and first opened in 1962. The current layout, as you see here today, has been in place since 2003, although over the years it has gone under many modifications, not least for safety, due to some quite high-profile losses over the years due to the brutality of the track and its weather conditions. Obviously, the last person we lost here in the motor racing world, a high-profile motor racing world at the least, was Jules Bianchi back in 2014. So we are here with the League One guys. They're going to be taking on the track first today. Obviously, the League Two guys will be up a bit later on. And I'll talk you down through the grid in a second from qualifying, but just to bring you the top three in the championship as we stand just going into the halfway point of the season. In first place in the championship at the moment on 86 points, we have HKRT Kevin, as you can see, also on pole for this race. He has won every race so far. The first four races, Nürburgring, Le Mans, Bathurst, and the other ones escape me. Bathurst and Saint Croix B. For the points virtue of some pole positions and fastest laps in there as well. In second place in the championship, you've got HKRT Panos. He's sitting there on 57 points, so a good chunk behind Kevin, and with a lot of work to do if he intends on taking the championship to him. In third place, though, closely followed, doesn't get much closer, is Fitzy, the first of the non-HKRT guys in the championship there. He is on 56 points, so just 1 point separating second and third in the championship at this halfway stage. So, without further ado, I'll bring you down through the grid, give you the qualifying positions, and then we can get the race underway. So, in first, we've got Kevin. He is on pole. He put in another cracking performance, left everybody in his wake, and, well, he's currently in a league of his own. Who can stop him? We shall see. In second place, we got HKRT Manos. A great performance for Manos in qualifying. We haven't seen him this far up the grid this season, so he's starting to find his feet maybe, or maybe he just loves this track. But either way, he's put it in second place on the grid. In third place, we've got Motorstorm Hero. He is entering as a wild card for this race. He won't be taking points, but in the absence of one of the other drivers, he is taking their place. And first time in the car, and he's put it in third place on the grid. So great performance from Motorstorm Hero there. In fourth place, we've got HKRT Stirpen, one of the Hellenic Knights racing team guys again. And in fifth place, we've got Fitzy. Fitzy, we're going to be disappointed with that qualifying performance. We're used to seeing him a bit further up. And with his championship position, he would have wanted to have been a bit higher. But more importantly for Fitzy, is behind him is HKRT Panos. Obviously second place in the championship at the moment, separated by 1 point and separated by one place on the grid at the start of this race. So they will be battling closely to get every point they possibly can. In seventh place, we've got URL Titters. And in eighth, P. White. Ninth, we've got URL Rossi. In 10th, a special mention of Captain Slow. Great performance in qualifying from him. He's been struggling up until now, and this is, I believe, his highest place on the grid this season. So he's put in a good performance. Great lap time to get him 10th place on the grid. In 11th, we've got HKRT Dragon. In 12th, we've got Enzo Jack. Rumours down the paddock are that he's having some serious technical difficulties with that car that the team are working really hard to try and rectify. If you remember the first couple of races, and indeed the third race at Bathurst, his qualifying performances have been been right up there, and the race performance in the first two races was pretty good as well. It's just a shame that he seems to have lost that edge so far this season. So he'll be looking to work with his guys, work with the engineering team, and figure out what indeed is going on, and hopefully he can get himself back up to the top. He's currently in 12th on the grid for this race, so a lot of work to do. Those technical issues still obviously prevalent there in that car. In 13th place, we got Brian Monkey, and in 14th, missing qualifying just by the skin of his teeth, couldn't quite get a lap out on the track. He is in 14th. It's Taylor Smith, or Mr. Sixth, as he's starting to become better known due to his consistent finishing in that 6th place. So we'll see if he can battle back up through from the back of the grid. And without further ado, let's get this race underway. And away they go, with Kevin taking us down the start-finish straight to start lap 1. And they go into a first turn. So a number of corner names around here, but not every corner has a name. As we watch Motorstorm and Manos getting a bit of argy-bargy there, and Manos gets a little bit sideways, but Motorstorm's still pushing through the S curves, as it looks like he's just got himself ahead as they come through the final part of that section and onwards round towards Dunlop Curve. So yep, Motorstorm has managed to get himself up in a second. Now he's going to be heading on after Kevin and looking to put some pressure on. And really, we've lost someone at the back there. Who have we lost? Oh, it looks like, no, we've lost Fitzy, 3rd place in the championship. And lap 1, he's just spanned the car as he's come round the right-hander there. He's just coming around this one here under the bridge. Oh, he's got a bit too keen on the throttle and it's just spun him round. All that power going to those rear wheels has lost traction, and he's ended up in the barrier, and he has got a lot of work to do now to try and bring those points home for his championship hopes. So we'll see where he can land. He hasn't quite dropped to the back. It looks like we might have missed an instant there from Dragon. Let's have a little look back, see if we can see what happened to Dragon, because he was a bit further up. Oh yeah, we've got a spin from Dragon as well. We missed, but this is actually going into turn 1. We're going into turn 1. Oh, he's gone deep, and he's gotten all on the AstroTurf on the outside of the corner. And yeah, as soon as you get on the throttle there, it is going to spin you round. There is no grip on that part of the track. So that's where we lost Dragon, as he looks to get back underway and catch back up with the rest of the field. Let's get ourselves back forward where we lost Fitzy. And there we go. So HKRT Kevin leading the way, as we have become accustomed to. With Motorstorm Hero, the newcomer, the wildcard entry, looking to make a name for himself, get himself on the radar of these teams, and see if he can nuzzle his way in and maybe even get a spot for next season. We'll see. But at the moment, he's the only one who is managing to even put Kevin under pressure. The gap back to Manos from Motorstorm, quite substantial. So let's see what he can do over the coming laps. As we move down the field, we got coming towards the end of lap 1. We got Manos in 3rd, Sturpan in 4th. Where is Sturpan? The cameraman has gone on holiday, I think. So we've lost Sturpan a little bit there. So what happened to Sturpan? Oh, he's gone deep as well. So he's gone deep into the Casio Triangle there, the chicane at the end of the lap. And he's lost a couple of places, nothing too major, but he's going to be kicking himself. He's had some really strong performances the last few races, so he would have wanted to have been doing a little bit better than that, but he can get his head down, start pushing on. Obviously, if you remember, I think it was last week at San Croix B, he started the race and had a drive-through penalty, and managed to drive himself all the way from qualifying 2nd, drive-through penalty, to get back up to finish in 2nd place. So Sturpan's clearly got that pace in him, and clearly going to be looking to make amends for that error there early on in this race. So back up, we've got, where were we? Manos in 3rd, we've got Panos in 4th, obviously benefiting, second place in the championship for Panos, and benefiting there from the other instances. You see Titters getting a bit out of shape on the exit there under the bridge. Sturpan then in 6th place, putting Titters under loads of pressure here, so going to be looking to try and get past Titters as soon as possible. Let's just stay with Sturpan and see what he can do over the rest of this lap as they come around turn 12 into turn 13 and 14, so Spoon Curve. We're just heading around now and onto the back straight, heading down to 130R. So Sturpan's going to benefit from the tow here, the slipstream effect that comes off the back of the car at high speed, giving a pocket of air of least resistance, meaning that you can close up on the car in front. The only trouble is as soon as you pull out from that pocket of air, you do end up stalling a little bit. So unless you've really got that momentum, it sometimes doesn't have the effect you wish it would. And Rossi there, as you can see, Rossi tucked right up in behind Sturpan now. Sturpan's dropped back a bit from Titters, possibly defending a little bit there from Sturpan, as it looks like we had somebody go a little bit wide up ahead. But they've managed to bring it back in. It was Panos by the looks of it, the dark coloured rear of that car. So Panos going wide, but he's managed to keep it in front of Titters, but he has lost touch with Manos, who's now got a nice gap back to Panos there. Going to trip over these names at some point, I'm sure. And so Titters is now tucked right underneath the back of Panos, and Sturpan has got Rossi for the same amount of company. So these 4 guys here battling for that 4th place as things stand, as Titters is just on the grass a little bit on the exit of that corner. So we come up into the hairpin. Really tough hairpin, that one. So you get right down into the low gears. Some, depending on the car, sometimes right down into gear 1, and you're looking to then get a change up, as it looks like Sturpan is now making his move on Titters. So Sturpan having a look at the inside Titters. Oh, a little nudge there from Sturpan on Titters, and just managed to keep going. And another nudge. So it looks like Rossi nudged Sturpan, and P White's taken out Sturpan. P White has taken out Sturpan as well. Not a lot I think P White could have done there. Let's go back and have a little look, as it looks like Sturpan caused the majority of that incident, really, with the double nudge. So you got one nudge, I think it was there, and then he's come back at him again, and another nudge, and then Rossi's got nowhere to go and has given Sturpan a tap at the rear, and then P White has just arrived on the scene with that Alpine liveried NSX stuck right in his way, and he had nowhere to go, but he has waited. So good sportsmanship there from P White to wait after that, but I don't really think that he can take any fault in that instant there. I think that has to go down as Sturpan initiating, and then it just got a little bit out of hand, but we'll leave it for the stewards to decide the outcome on that one. I'm sure the Sturpan is going to be banging on that door, as is Titters as well. So let's head back up to the top of the grid, as we got Kevin there holding off Motorstorm Hero at the moment. As they move into the second half of lap 4 of this 27-lap race. So 27 laps. These races are held over a duration of 50 minutes, converted into laps. So the expected lap time average of this race, it leads to a roughly a 27-lap race. The organisers believe. So we'll see how that pans out for these guys as the race progresses. I'll have a little look down through the field at the tyre compounds and see what strategies people are looking to move on to. So Kevin there on the medium tyre, so he's got a lot of grip underneath him. He's pulled away from Motorstorm Hero there, with even on the medium tyres. So he's looking good for first at the moment. Motorstorm there, as you can see, on the soft tyres. So he was all over the back of Kevin in the early stages of this race. But those tyres looking like they are literally ready to pack up their suitcases and go home. I'd be surprised if he doesn't dive into the pits now. And oh no, he hasn't. He is going to go for another lap. So those tyres are going to be absolutely shot by the end of this lap. So that's going to lose him some pace, but maybe he knows something we don't, as it looks like we've got a little battle going on back here. Let's have a little look. Just spotted it on the little mini map there, where we've got Monkey there as they come into the Casio Triangle. So these two, Monkey and TLR Smith. So TLR Smith making moves here. He was down in 14th due to missing qualifying, and he's already made his way, a little bit fortunate due to the incidents from others, but made his way up into 9th place and putting all the pressure now onto Monkey as Monkey goes wide. Monkey has gone wide there, so I missed that. Had a van pull up outside my window. So let's have a little look, see what happened there. Is Monkey then, yeah, so he's gone deep, he's got himself on the AstroTurf, but he's managed to get himself back underway, stayed off that throttle, as we saw earlier on in the race with Dragon around that turn, the first time of asking, getting on the AstroTurf there and getting on the power and ended up spinning. So not what you want to be doing, and Monkey's avoided that, but great news for Smith there as he's moved up into 8th place. So Smith putting the hammer down and making use of his pace to try and eliminate the issue that he had in qualifying, causing an effect on his overall race result. So let's move back up, let's see where we were at. So as you can see there, Manos all over the back now of Motorstorm Heroes. Motorstorm Heroes tyres have basically given up. They've just gone, we've had enough, you can't keep doing this to us, we're going home. And off they go. So he is going to have to come in at the end of this lap. Manos now up to 2nd place on the medium compound tyres. Seems to be holding up really well. Kevin on those as well. So HKRT boys seem to have been working on their strategy. Oh, as Manos has gone deep there into the chicane. And Motorstorm has, well, thank God for ghosting there, because he got caught out by the slow Manos there due to Manos's error. And obviously Manos ghosted, which allowed Motorstorm to pass through him rather than into him. So good job from the ghosting there, as Panos now moves up into 3rd place on the hard compound tyres. So doing well to be keeping everybody else at bay, perhaps, depending on the compounds they're on. But he's doing well there in 3rd place, 2nd place in the championship, and looking good for a podium at this early stage in the race. Rossi there in 4th. Great performance here from Rossi, up to 4th place. He's seems to be right at home with that car around this track and putting in some great lap times, and so a great performance there so far from Rossi. And again, Captain Slow, obviously these guys have benefited from some errors from the guys that were in front, but at this early stage of the race, Captain Slow there in 5th place after qualifying in 10th. He's made his way up the grid, and he's putting in a great performance there. But he's got Fitzy for company, and we know Fitzy was quick in qualifying, but not quite quick enough. He put it on 5th on the grid, so Fitzy's looking to get back that place that he lost due to his spin early on in the race. So is Captain Slow going to recognise the difference in pace there and move aside, or is he going to battle and try and keep Fitzy behind him? If he battles, it could affect his overall race, so he may have other ideas. We'll see as they come through Boone Curve and onto the straight heading down to 130R. Fitzy tucked right up in behind Captain Slow on the in the slipstream there, and he moves to the right. Captain Slow stays left and tucks in behind Fitzy. So it does look like Captain Slow decided, you know what, this isn't my race, we'll do battle another day, as they come through Casio Triangle and onto the last curve and across the start finish line. So Captain Slow also on the medium compound tyre as well, with Fitzy on the medium, so both on the same compounder tyre. Then in 7th we got Smith. So Smith up to 7th after the pit stop there from Motorstorm Hero. So Smith up to 7th on that hard compound tyre, so still making good progress. He's left Monkey behind a little bit there, created a bit of a gap, and I've got his sights firmly set on trying to get up the road after Captain Slow. Monkey there in 8th place on the hard compound tyre, with Titters for company on the hard compound tyre as well. With these two looking to do battle over the coming laps before they come in for their first stop. So it'd be interested to see how this little battle pans out. Obviously, Tidders got tangled up in that incident earlier on with Sturpan, Rossi and P. White, and ended up facing the wrong way on the gravel, I believe it was. So he's got a lot of making up to do, which is why he's dropped so far back. But he's looking menacing in behind Monkey there as he looks up the inside, but Monkey's got that door closed and got that line tight, as Sturpan is also now looking to latch onto the back of these two. We'll have a quick blip down through, because I think this battle is going to be quite interesting as we come through. So we've got Sturpan on the hard tyres there, we've got P. White on the hard tyres, Motorstorm Hero out on the medium tyres now after soft tyre run, Enzo Jack on the hards, and Dragon also on the hards. Let's get back up and see this battle between Monkey and Tidders, as the rest of the field seems to be on that hard compound tyre. They're going to be looking to go long and making use of those faster compound tyres with less fuel, so the car will be lighter as we now come into Casio Triangle, onto last curve and across the start finish line to complete lap 7. And it looks like Monkey's kept Tidders behind him, he's kept Sturpan behind him, so these three looking to do battle. Tidders and Sturpan looking to pick up where they left off, and hopefully if Sturpan does go to make a move, we can get that move done cleanly, or Tidders can get past Monkey and start pushing on, as they both got a little bit deep there. I think they both got caught out a little bit by each other, and we move through the S curves now on towards Dunlop Curve, as Tidders goes deep through the first part but managed to get that line back. This section, the S curve, so crucial to maintain a flowing line and staying off that brake pedal, lifting, coasting, managing where the car is going. But these cars change direction so quick that you can really hustle through that sector, but the moment you fall offline you lose so much time, as we now come around the right hander there under the bridge and on towards Hairpin. And Tidders tucked firmly up in behind Monkey. Is he going to have a look? No, Monkey has that door closed, all three of them keeping that line nice and tight around Hairpin. But Tidders has got a load of wheel spin on the exit of that turn by the looks of it, and now Sturpan is right underneath that rear wing. You can probably read what it says nice and clearly as he dives up the inside where the incident was earlier, but he has to back out, and Tidders has got that covered on the brakes at the moment. But they now come onto the back straight, going down towards 130R, and Sturpan is going to be on Tidders as they come through towards Casio Triangle. Is he going to dive up the inside? It looks like Tidders has that covered. It's a great driving there from Tidders to really stretch that little lead there, that little gap there as they came into that little section, to make sure Sturpan didn't have any advantage and ability to dive up the inside. These guys absolutely on it at the moment. Sturpan right underneath again of that rear wing and looking to try and make a move. It's not impossible due to the fast-paced nature of the S-curves to make a move up the inside of anyone here, because you're flicking backwards and forwards, left and right. So even if you try to dive it up the inside, the chances are that door is going to be slammed right in your face on arrival. So it's not... I don't think I've seen any overtakes in previous races I've seen around this track through that section, unless somebody has made a mistake. As we come up to the hairpin again for the 9th time of this 27 lap race, and these three look to be stuck together all the way at the moment, and they're pretty much the same positions as they were the previous lap, gap wise as well. So Verappan looks like he's perhaps holding station a little bit, just biding his time, managing his tyres, managing his fuel as we go through into 130R, into Spoon Curve. I'll get used to the corner names eventually, but not doing too bad as at this moment in time, as we now head down towards 130R, and these three all matching each other all the way at the moment, as Tidders has a little look up the inside of Monkey, just letting him know that he's there, and ready to pounce if anything does happen. And we're now nip and tuck all the way down that home straight. Across start finish line, start lap 10. Oh, there's Tidders there right underneath Monkey, but he's had to back out, and it's given Sturpan the impetus there, but Sturpan has had to roll out as well as Tidders, just getting that car back under control to get through those S curves. And he's going through those S curves now, still holding on to that place, Tidders. But Sturpan is going to be absolutely raging there, because he's going to feel like he's got the pace there to be getting further and further up, and he does look like he's being held up now by Monkey and Tidders. And to be honest, Tidders does look like he's being held up by Monkey as well. So nobody working together here to try and create gaps or anything like that. These guys are out there for themselves and battling hard. So again, these three closely matched all the way through the lap. There's a little drift there from Tidders, losing time but looking great as he comes around Spoon Curve onto that straight down to 130R. All a bit spread out now as we're coming up to when we would expect to start seeing some pit stops. So just have a little look, see if anybody makes a move through the chicane. See if these guys do indeed dive into the pits to make their first stop of the race. Monkey goes by, Tidders goes by, but Sturpan has dived into the pits. So Sturpan, the first of the drivers after Mercy Storm Hero to look to make a pit stop and dive in and get rid of those hard tyres and look to get onto the faster compound tyres. So it'd be interesting to see which way he goes. While he's in the pits, I think he is going to come out, due to the close nature of where everybody is, I think he is still going to come out behind the rest of the field as Enzo Jack goes through. Oh, it looks like P. White is a little bit further back again. So P. White looks to be struggling. Maybe he's had a few incidents that we haven't picked up on while watching that battle between Sturpan, Monkey and Tidders. But he is still there, and it does look like Sturpan has got out in front of P. White. So P. White having a nightmare of a race in the minute. You can see there, although he has stopped, so maybe he had a slow pit stop, slow in lap, slow out lap. Let's have a look, see where it's so. Now the out lap, as he goes wide again. So the out lap from Sturpan is comparable with P. White, nothing too major. So maybe it is just the fact that they've both stopped. As Kevin heading into the pits to get rid of his medium compound tyres, and he's down to a quarter of a tank of fuel, so he's saved a good amount. Manos follows him in. Let's see what the other guys do. Does Panos go in? Panos has followed him in as well, so Panos into the pits as Rossi now comes round. Rossi comes round, and he's coming round for another lap along with Fitzy. So Rossi now takes the overall lead of the race. Rossi will be absolutely loving that. He's worked hard to get where he's got to, and he's putting in one hell of a performance here today, and he's getting the opportunity now to lead a few laps of this race as he comes through the S curves with Fitzy there for company. Fitzy sat just behind, making amends for his earlier detour into a pirouette by the bridge. Kevin then out onto the track on hard tyres. Mercy Storm has managed to resume in behind Kevin, so as you were there, so Mercy Storm doing a great job and up into 4th place there on the medium tyres, but they are heavily worn now. Monkey in 5th, so Monkey still to pit. Manos then has come out on the hard tyres in behind Monkey, so Manos on his own a little bit there, got plenty of room in front of him and behind him to put in some lap times there. And Panos also out now on the medium tyres, so looks like these guys are saving those soft tyres to their last stint, so we'll see where that ends up bringing them out. As Enzo Jack there on the hard tyres, he's keeping going on those hards. He's on to lap 12 here, so he's looking to go long and perhaps really hammer those other faster compounds to make some headway. And Sturpan then on the medium tyres for this stint, along with TLR Smith, who's now pitted as well. Dragan also pitted, but Dragan on the stop tyres. And now Dragan has picked up a 3-second time penalty. That's going to be either on the pit entry, but more likely the pit exit, I would imagine. But really unfortunate there for Dragan, who's having a nightmare race. And Tidder's there, also having come into the pits, out onto the medium tyres. As you can see there, Rossi and Fitzy have now come into the pits as well. Captain Slow onto the hard tyres, out in 13th, and PY on the mediums in 14th. So let's head up. Kevin now takes the lead of the race again. So Rossi got to lead 1 lap, but Kevin is now resumed his lead of the race. Motorstorm Hero not far behind Kevin in 2nd place. Monkey there holding in 3rd as well. So Monkey having a great race, but he has yet to stop. So it'll be interesting to see where he comes out, considering where he was. Manos then in 4th, Panos in 5th, so Rossi and Fitzy look to be dropping back down to 5th, as Enzo Jack now goes through, not on Fitzy, or does he? So as Fitzy comes out of the pit, Fitzy's got enough on Enzo Jack there to hold that place, so he does so, and then Enzo Jack now in 7th place, Sturpan in 8th, and Rossi comes out just behind Sturpan in 9th place, with Smith there picking up a half-second penalty for some reason. And Tidder's now in 11th, looking to make some progress. Dragan in 12th. Captain Slow in 13th, looking to make some moves as well. And it's all spread out a bit. Now everybody's been into the pits. This is where you get, normally in endurance races, where you've got to use all 3 compounds of tyres, you get a little bit of a lull as the different strategies start to play out. You have different people on different compounds, so therefore different pace. The gaps through different fueling lengths and different things are prevalent there, and as a result you get this spread out field, which as we get in towards laps, probably laps 18, 19 and 20, you'll start seeing people piling into the pits, changing them to their final stop, and you'll see everybody sort of bunch back up again as the race comes to its conclusion. As you can see there, Brian Moncarney, Monkey there, diving into the pits from 3rd place on the hard compound tyre. He's going to be looking to get off of those tyres and onto something more competitive. So let's have a look. So Enzo Jack going around again on the hard tyres. So Enzo Jack there on 13 laps now. Oh no, he has. I thought he was further on than that, so he has come into the pits as well. So both Monkey and Enzo Jack doing 13 laps on those hard compound tyres. So whilst that is, some would say too long, you never know. That pace on the mediums and the softs that they're now going to have, they're going to be able to hammer those tyres and really exploit their grip potential. So it'd be interesting to see exactly what sort of performance they can put in to get themselves up some places, as Captain Slow just, as you can see there, keeping PY at bay out of the back of the grid. I wonder if Captain Slow had a bit of an issue, as he's dropped quite far back. He was doing really well up in the higher places, but he's back there now battling with PY in 12th and 13th place, as Enzo Jack now resumes his race at the back of the grid. Let's get back up and see what Kevin's doing. Well, clearing off by the look of it. He's just in a zone of his own on those hard tyres now. And Motorstorm Hero, had it not been for Kevin, you'd be saying the same in a race of his own. So he's really making a statement there for this being more than just a wild card entry. So great stuff from Motorstorm Hero there. And Manos, the whole length of that straight and a bit back from Motorstorm Hero in 3rd place. Panos there still holding 4th. He'll be pretty happy with that, considering everything that had been going on around him. And Fitzy has now officially made himself back up into 5th place, and where he qualified. So nothing lost in the overall picture, but he will feel like he could have given a bit more and made more of his qualifying position without that spin. Who knows what could have been, as we now are well and truly into the second half of this race. Sturpan there in 6th after his earlier incidents that he had. Smith there in 7th, knocking on the door of that 6th place that he covets so dearly. Rossi in 8th. Monkey in 9th. Tiller's there in 10th, with Dragon there for company in 11th. Captain Slow in 12th, and P. White now a little bit further back off the back of Captain Slow in 13th. With Enzo Jack a long way back now in 14th place, still struggling with those technical issues. We'll stay with Tidders here, and Dragon loses it and goes wide there. So what happened to Dragon there? Let's have a little look. I think he just got a little bit too brave on the accelerator, and it's just put him a little bit wide and onto the grass, and onto the gravel. He's done well to save that from going round. So good car control there from Dragon. But he's lost ground now on Tidders, who he was making headway into. So that scuppers that little battle that we had brewing. Let's get back to see what Captain Slow and P. White are doing. I know it's at the back of the grid, but everybody else looking a little bit spread out. So we'll have a look, see what these guys are doing. Give them a bit of screen time. As I said earlier, Captain Slow had a great qualifying. He seems to have lost a couple of places from his qualifying place, but that could all turn around. We've still got 12 laps left of this race, so plenty of time to make a difference. But it does look like these two are matching each other for pace. So let's have a little... Well, we'll wait and see them finish up this lap, as anything can happen going into Casio Triangle. The little chicane at the end of the lap. As P. White takes a good chunk of curb on the inside there, but nothing doing. So we'll have a little look back up at the pointy end of the grid, as Kevin is proving to be a man of consistency there. I mean, look at those lap times. So if you look at lap 8, 9 and 10, you've got 46.5, 46.8 and 46.7, so all within 3/10 of each other, 3 laps off the bat. Then he's come into the pits, he's come back out on these hard compound tyres, and he's a 47.2, 47.3, 47.2. That is how you win races. That is consistency that wins you races. You don't necessarily, I mean, Kevin is quick, but you don't necessarily need to be the quickest to win a race. You need to be consistent, and Kevin managing to do both, so he's absolutely running this show as things stand. Mirror Storm really using absolutely every bit of rubber those tyres can offer, all the way down to the canvas now on the medium tyres, as he was on those softs. Really hard on his tyres by the look of it. So he's going to be coming out on the hard tyres for this final stint. He's come in with a little bit of fuel saved, but what's that, 11 laps to do on the hard tyres, so he should be fine. It's just whether or not you can make that fuel last those full 11 laps, we shall see. But good competitive lap times, consistent as well. Just seems to be getting a little bit tied up with strategy, which is stopping him from attacking Kevin at the sharp end of the grid here. So as he comes back out now, he's picked up a 3-second time penalty. Have a little look back to see exactly what happened, because so if we go back to him, so you straight away you can see exactly what happened. So if we go on to here, so as he comes round, he comes to dive into the pits, and you'll see he just clips that white line there on the entrance, and that is what's given him that 3-second penalty. Absolutely cruel for this game to do that, but rules is rules, unfortunately, and he has fallen foul of that and will now serve a 3-second time penalty at the end of this lap. So Fitzy up into 4th place now due to the pit stop. So Fitzy running in 4th, a place better than he was, not just behind Panos. So he just considering he had that spin earlier on, he'll be hoping Manos can keep Panos at bay, but he's not going to lose too many points to Panos in the championship battle, is Fitzy, if he can keep that 4th place alive and kicking. Serapan there in 5th, and guess who's in 6th? Mr. Consistency himself, Taylor Smith, in 6th place. Now, I didn't mention on the grid there, as we look at Rossi and Motorstorm battling through hairpin there. Actually, we'll just stay with these. I'll pick the Smith bit up again in a second. We'll just see if Rossi can get this move done on Motorstorm Hero as they now come into Spoon Curve and onto that straight. But it does look like Motorstorm Hero's got the legs. Rossi having a bit of a nightmare on the exit, and Monkey is now closed right up to the back of him. He's going to be tucked into that slipstream. Oh, of course, Motorstorm had a... Oh, that gets the heart rate going there. Motorstorm had a 3-second time penalty, so that's thank goodness for ghosting, really, because that caught me by surprise, and I can imagine it definitely caught these guys by surprise. You can see as Rossi goes to dive left, it didn't look like he ghosted, but he did. So Rossi now up into 8th place, gets a bit of grass there, a bit out of shape, but holds on to that 8th place, 7th place, sorry, and Monkey there in 8th as they move through the Casio Triangle and onwards to complete lap 17. So as things look to have settled down a little bit, let's go back up. So as you can see, Smith has actually decided, you know what, I'm going to spend a bit of time making my car look nice, and he has. Well, I say he has. He got somebody to do it for him, but at least it looks a little bit better than the all black nothingness that was his previous livery. So top work there, Smith, for getting that livery done. See what I did there? So looking a little bit better this race than he has in previous races. I don't think we've got anybody waging war with each other at the moment, but it's starting to bunch up and come together a little bit in certain areas. So this final pit stop is really going to... we've lost Dragan off the back again. Have a little look to see what happened to Dragan there. Or was it too far back? Oh, Dragan's been in the pits. So nothing too adventurous there. We've seen a few blue flags, so I think that means that Kevin must be approaching hot on Dragan's rear at the back there. So lapping, yeah. So as you can see there, Dragan is going to be picking up those blue flags as we come round to finish lap 18. As you can see, the marshal there in the background waving that blue flag. So is Kevin going to be diving into the pits? No. So Kevin is going on up the road and looking to... he's going to end up lapping Dragan this lap, possibly. Is Dragan going to slow down and move out of the way, or has Dragan got the legs to keep him unlapped prior to that final pit stop that everybody else has to serve, that Dragan has already now served? All the tyre squeal going through the S-curves there. I thought we'd lost him, but he's keeping it going. So Kevin there on lap 19. Panos now up into 2nd place. So Panos has dealt with Manos, possibly due to that offset of tyres there. So let's have a little blip back, see if we can see where Panos got the move done. Oh, that must have happened a little while ago, so we won't go all the way back there. But Panos has got the move done on Manos and is off up the road onto lap 19. Picking up here then on lap 19, we got Fitzy and Sturpan closely battling. Not quite close enough for Sturpan to be looking to make a move, but Sturpan on those medium tyres, but they are heavily worn compared to Fitzy there on the hard compound tyres. So and we're just going to go down through, because there seems to be a bit of a battle brewing here between Rossi and Monkey, and then straight behind them you got Tidders and Motorstorm. So Motorstorm looking to get past Titters. We know how quick Motorstorm has been up until this point, and Monkey looking to get past Rossi. So, are we going to see a move from any of these guys? Let's keep a close watch as they come through up towards Hairpin and under the bridge. Still even gaps at the moment, and I think Motorstorm is too far back to be having a go at the inside there, but he is getting closer. So Titter's there on that. Oh, as Motorstorm loses it a little bit on the exit. Let's have a look, see what happened there to Motorstorm. All twitchy on the exit there on those hard tyres. Relatively new hard tyres as well, so they're going to be a little bit less grippy coming round there. So, oh yeah, he's got a little bit squirrely on the curb. He's done well to save that. That sort of instant on that corner normally results in a full spin, so he's done well to keep that pointing in the right direction, and he can now focus on bridging that gap again between himself and Titters. But obviously Titters still to stop for that final time as he moves on up after Monkey. Rossi looking like he's just stretching that gap out now from Monkey there. Smith looking good on his own up there in 6th place. He's kind of making that one his own this season, so if you ever see him racing in the GR2 NSX, expect him to finish 6th. It's a pretty safe bet if anybody wants to take odds. So let's have a little look where Kevin is. So it looks like Kevin has rolled off from, or not been able to put the move on Dragon there. So Kevin holding station as we come round to towards 130R now to finish lap 20. Still the marshals waving the blue flags, but even though the blue flags are out, Dragon is comfortably ahead, so there's no need for him to be getting out of the way at this moment in time. Probably need another 6 or 7 car lengths closer to be looking at making a move out the way to prevent hindering Kevin's race. So no problems at the moment. And Panos there holding 2nd place, doing a great job in 2nd there. 2nd in the championship, 2nd place here so far. One more stop to go, and we will see how that then shuffles the pack around. So as Manos comes down through into Casio Triangle and on towards the last curve and the start-finish straight. And Fitzy and Sturpan doing the same. So Fitzy keeping Sturpan at bay in the minute. Fitzy going to have to dive in there. Just spotted his fuel tank there. He's used every drop of fuel that car has to offer. And now he's going to head back out on the track after this stop on the soft compound tyres, and he's going to have to get 7 laps out of those tyres. But I mentioned earlier Kevin for his consistency, but if you have a look there, lap 15 to lap 18, 47.8, 47.9, 47.8, 47.8. Again, this is why Fitzy is in 3rd place in the championship. And I expect if we go and have a look at Panos up in 2nd place, yep, so it's the same story with Panos in 2nd place. 46.5, 47.2, 46.6, 46.8, 47.4, 47.1, 47.4. So you're looking at those lap times. This is why the guys up the top are up the top, and why they're as good as they are, because they can do the lap after lap after lap. And well, there you go. So what's that? 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. The 8 laps there, and they are all within half a second of each other. 8 laps. That is incredible. Great performance from Kevin there to have that level of consistency, and it just goes to show what practice can do and what you can do with these cars over the duration of a race. He's now getting onto those soft tyres for his final stint of the race, and I fully expect that fastest lap to go from Motorstorm Hero there on the way to Kevin to take home, as Panos and Manos also dive into the pits. Smith also into the pits there in 5th place, making 1 extra place up as Rossi also dives in from 6th and Monkey in from 7th. Hitter's also in as Motorstorm carries on, having already made his 3rd and final stop of this race. So Motorstorm now going to be putting Manos under some pressure, but he gets the move done before turn 1, so a little bit of lag there from Manos. You can see his car jumping around a little bit. That is a nightmare to race against. So Motorstorm would be glad to be ahead of Manos with that type of lag present. As the trouble is with lag, you can't really do an awful lot about it once you start the race, but you just don't know where the other car is going to be on the racetrack. So obviously you don't get that in real life, but we do have to put up with it on the game. So Motorstorm here looking like he's just managing to keep Manos at bay. Motorstorm on those hard tyres, Manos looking menacing on the softs. So you would expect, to be honest, Manos to get the move done on Motorstorm quite soon, quite early on. As it looks like Fitzy has dropped a few places, so he's going to be kicking himself a little bit. See is in down in 7th as we watch Motorstorm and Manos battling. Expect to see Manos now move to either the left or the right to make use of this slipstream, and he does so, but coming down into 130R, Motorstorm holds that inside line and keeps that place going into Casio Triangle. And can he do it? Manos looking to go around the outside, now the inside and the outside. A cameraman is asleep, and Motorstorm all squarely on the exit has got Manos tucked right underneath that diffuser there, almost underneath his car, to be honest, pushing him along. And it's only a matter of time, I think, before Manos gets his move done, and he does into turn 1, round the outside. Can he make it stick on the exit? He makes it stick on the exit. Manos round the outside, and Motorstorm has had to yield that position. It does go to show what those soft tyres, the benefit of those soft tyres when they're nice and fresh. It just gives you that extra grit to push on the entrance and the exit corners that you don't get on especially the hard tyres. So then we got Motorstorm now in 4th, looking to make sure he keeps Stirpan at bay. Stirpan also on the soft tyres, so we've got 5 laps to go for Stirpan, and 5 laps to make those soft tyres count as he goes fastest in sector 2. So he's on for fastest lap of the race at the moment is Stirpan, but I'm expecting that to go to Kevin as Kevin comes across the start-finish line momentarily. Yep, and it does. 144.2 for Kevin, great lap, and he is on the move on those soft tyres. As we look at Smith in 6th place, Smith there in his customary 6th place. He's set up base camp there for the last few races, and he is looking to bring that home. He's got Fitzy for company in 7th, but Smith on the softs, Fitzy on the softs, so they could be doing battle as the race wages on in these latter stages. Stirpan still a long way back from, I say a long way back, not as long as we thought initially, so that's going to be coming a battle, I'd imagine, over the next 2 laps. Rossi there in 8th, looking good for his 8th place finish. He's got a lot of work to do. I don't think he's going to be catching Fitzy, but he's got a decent gap back to Tidders there in 9th place. So Tidders in 9th, looking good as well. Monkey in 10th on those soft tyres. So all these guys on the soft tyres after getting rid of the slower compounds earlier on the race. Captain Slow there in 11th. He's dropped 1 place from his qualifying position of 10th, but still a good performance from Captain Slow, getting grips with that car as P. White keeps him company in 12th, both on the soft tyres. Enzo Jack also on the soft tyres, only just come out of the pits, I believe, as he makes his way round in front of Dragon, also who's on the medium tyres in 14th place there. I wonder if Dragon had a bit of an incident or an issue, because he has dropped back again, and he's getting them blue flags. There is that Kevin Yeah, so Kevin looking to lap Dragan again as we come into lap 25, the final 3 laps of this 27 lap race, and Kevin is dominating in his usual fashion. I think we got a little battle brewing here between Merstorm and Sturpan. So I said 2 laps, but it looks like it's happened earlier than we thought. As Sturpan now looking to get this move done. He's going to have a go down at turn 1 like Manos did. He's going to go around the outside, so he moves to the outside, drag race down into the braking zone, and Merstorm has to brake a little bit earlier by virtue of being on that harder compound tyre. And the move is easy then for Sturpan on that softer compound, and he makes his way up into 4th place. Motorstorm dropping to 5th, but he's got a good gap back to Smith there. So we'll just bring this on because I'm conscious that we are going to run out of time to see these boys cross the start finish line. Everybody's spread out at the moment, no battles really waging on. There are a couple of guys getting a little bit closer, but let's get on to lap 26, and we'll have a little look. That it looks like the weather is changing as well. So what we got battle wise? So let's have a little look. So P White, Captain Slow, bit of a gap there. Monkey looking to put pressure on Titter. So we got a little bit of a battle going on here between Titters and Monkey as we come in towards the final lap of the race, as these guys come up round the I'll get the corners right, round Degner Curve I believe that was, and off up towards Hairpin where they are going now. As you can see, Kevin is also taking another chunk out of his fastest lap of the race there, at 1:44.090. So these guys all spread out again, so we'll have a little blip forward, keep this under an hour, make sure we get everything covered. Doesn't appear to be anything changing on the mini map as we now enter the final lap of this race with Monkey and Titters still close enough to perhaps end up with a battle, but not quite close enough just yet. So let's have a little look back. Let's go back to Kevin, as he's going to be surely coming up to finish this race now. Enzo Jack just in head. He's going to be scarpering away, trying to make sure he doesn't get lapped. But Kevin now to come across the start finish line, round the final corner. A little flash of the lights. Excellent stuff there from Kevin. Cracking performance to bring that home in 1st place. Dominating again, as you can see, Panos is basically a half a lap further back in 2nd place. So Kevin getting the race done in under 50 minutes, under 50 minutes, as Panos now comes through that chicane at Casio Triangle to bring that car home. Those tyres looking worn, that tank looking empty, but great performance from Panos to reaffirm his grip on 2nd place in the championship. Great stuff from Panos there. Fantastic performance, as Manos now comes across in 3rd place with Sturpan in 4th. The HKRT racing team guys dominating again. These guys just seem right at home, as Merstorm here nearly loses out to TLR Smith on the line there, but holds on for 5th. Great performance as a wild card entry, 1st time in the car. Smith gets 6th, Fitzy crosses the line in 7th. Just going as we see Rossi now cross the line for a well-deserved 8th place, as Titter is looking to hold off Monkey, and he does so just by the skin of his teeth as Monkey crosses the line just behind him, as Captain Slow now coming down through 130R. So just quick mention out there for Smith, another 6th place finish for TLR Smith, making that place well and truly his own, as Captain Slow comes through Casio Triangle for one final time to take 11th place. Only dropped 1 place from his qualifying in 10th place. Good stuff from Captain Slow. And P White now coming through the final corner and onto the start finish line to finish the race, with Enzo Jack following close behind. And that is the race done. So, oh no, Dragon got lapped. So Dragon was lapped, so he finished a lap before. All that remains to be said is thank you very much for listening, guys. We shall see you next week when the track is announced on Monday for the 6th round of this